Welcome and thank you for joining me for this full moon in Aries video. And as you can see, we're doing things a little bit differently this time around. And that's because I set things up a little bit closer to how I do things for my oracle videos. Now, the chart for this full moon is mostly harmonious, yet there are elements in it that are a bit prickly. But I really wanted to focus on two of the cards associated with this moon cycle. Now, the Hermit is the tarot card for Virgo, and we started with the Virgo new moon here. This is the moon cycle that we're in, so we're still under the influence of the Hermit. And the Hermit is the way shower on the top of the mountain, as Jason Lauderhand said, and he has his lantern that is lit to guide others up the mountain top. And then we have Sari, the fairy godmother here, who is very similar. She's a way shower. She helps guide people to where they're meant to be. And we have the energy of 9, which is endings, and 25 breaks down to 7, which is the number for spiritual illumination, or paradigm shifts, epiphanies, or spiritual breakthroughs. The spiritual illumination part is from Carl Jung. And so we have here a very potent mix of symbols. And I really wanted to focus on these for this moon. The other symbol that I wanted to bring back is the harvest moon symbol. And at the full moon, when we are under the harvest moon influence, we can really see what our harvest is, where we are going, what things are going to happen. And we can ask ourselves, how is our harvest going? Now, every full moon in particular, I pull an oracle stone. I actually pull this a year in advance. And the oracle stone for this full moon is clear quartz. And this is a stone of amplification. So everything that's going to be, all the energies that we are going to be pointing out in the chart are going to be amplified this full moon. Now, this moon cycle started off with a lot of good fortune and fateful tidings. And now that we're at the apex, we can kind of see where things are going and where the results, we're at the point where the results of the cycle are here. And here we come to the astrology. Now I've marked Aries on the chart right here, at 25 degrees of Aries. And that planet is not always included, and a good deal of astrologers tend to forget about her because she moves so slowly. Now this moon is at 6 degrees of Aries here, which is the number for relationships. With the Aries and Libra axis highlighted by transits, it's a struggle here between the individual and the collective. Right now, however, Aries' energy is heightened because she's conjunct the North Node, which is also at 25 degrees. Now, Aries is the goddess of chaos, and when she is emphasized in a chart, there are usually uprisings. That's why it's not surprising that we have a major strike happening right now with the Hollywood Writers Guild and the UAW strikes. With Aries here, I don't see movements such as those ending anytime soon. We are putting ourselves first here, almost at all costs. Opposite of Aries is Mars, with the South Node in Libra. Here we have the collective also rising up in a militant way. Libra is the sign where we seek justice and equality. So again, we have this energy that's really going to feed into these strikes, but also really solidify us relating to a particular group and digging in our heels. Also, we have the last square between Venus and Uranus and Taurus. And Venus is now the morning star, so she's refreshed and renewed. But we have the unexpected here with Uranus. Again, relationships are heightened here, and so is goddess energy. In relationships, we can expect the unexpected. Thankfully, and no one seems to be talking about this, but Saturn has slipped into Pisces. And so we have a lightening of energy since it's in a sign it doesn't rule. Saturn has been in Aquarius since January. We had a little taste of what that energy will be, and while I don't think it was anything too serious, I can't think of any significant event that stood out, it's nice to have that energy lighten up a little. Neptune is still sextile Uranus and Pluto, while Pluto is square the North Node. The collective narrative is changing. Mercury is in a supportive trine to Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus, but opposed Neptune. We're thinking of the disruptions we've seen in the material world, but the media doesn't want us to think about that. Lilith, Black Moon Lilith, is trine the North Node in Aries and opposed Saturn and Pisces. She's supporting this collective movement about future equality, but not happy that groupthink and the media narrative is going to be constricted. I'm calling this moon Fear, Frustration, and the Goddess because we have the major influences on the chart as Eris, Venus, and Black Moon Lilith. Lilith is bringing up fear around these collective strikes and uprisings that are happening around the world. They look like chaos and disruption. The frustration comes from Aries, Eris, and Mars, brother and sister, pulling on opposite ends of the North and South Node. Yet even in that, you can see how a new start for the individual, North Node Aries along with Eris, is what's emphasized over war and the collective. What we are really seeing is the spirit of the age of Aquarius, where the individual operates freely while choosing to participate in the collective free of group think. The question is no longer what can I sacrifice to make my collective stronger and better than the rest. Instead, it's what can we change, rule-wise, to make life better for each individual, which will raise the entire collective without the group think. We are also struggling with these technology issues, artificial intelligence in Hollywood, and electric cars and automotive manufacturing. This goes to that Neptune and Uranus sextile, which we really see technology starting to shape our lives instead of using technology as a tool to benefit our lives. Or at the end of the day, I want to come back to the Hermit and the Fairy Godmother. I call this moon cycle fortuitous fate because the events here seem to be destined. These big existential questions of where we are headed as a collective, as we move into the age of Aquarius, and what the individual's role will be in the future is being sorted out by these labor union strikes, and people asking why the news is ignoring the rising costs of goods and services. We are on a precipice, and the goddess, Eris, Venus, and Lilith ask us to look at the moon cycle that we are in, which is the harvest moon. What we have done in the past brought us here. If our harvest consists of strikes and uprisings, perhaps we need to go back to the drawing board to see if there's a new approach that we can take that doesn't sacrifice the individual in the name of the collective. Again, this is the spirit of the age of Aquarius. Well, that is what I have for this full moon. We have strong goddess energy really transforming the collective, which is causing fear and frustration. I can't say how things will turn out. With Venus squaring Uranus, no one really can. But humanity is definitely changing. Bye for now.